You're watching ABC10 Plus Tonight.
Hello, I'm Laura Painter. You're watching ABC10 Plus Tonight. More than 24 horses were found dead on a property, and now a group is asking for people to come forward to help the surviving horses. Then more families are now eligible for Head Start programs. We look at where the funding for the program is coming from. ABC10 Plus Tonight starts right now.
Sweeping changes in Washington this week have people in education on high alert, wondering if they'll be next. And this comes as more families are now eligible for free early childhood education through a program called Head Start. ABC 10's Becca Hobbecker spoke with a local school district about the urgent push to get new families enrolled.
These are crunchy, like an apple.
It's lunchtime here in this Head Start classroom at the Hiram Johnson Family Education Center in Sacramento.
I don't like coming.
But you never tried it, so how do you know if you don't like it or not?
Domitila Casillas teaches at one of 33 Head Start classrooms throughout the Sacramento City Unified School District, serving 3 to 5-year-olds.
It's not just child care, although we take really good care of our kids, but we teach them skills that they need when they go into kindergarten. Their shapes, their colors, critical thinking skills, being able to identify their emotions. Maurice is making a prediction, which is an educated guess.
Head Start is an early childhood learning program that's mostly funded through the federal government and free for families who qualify.
We're not just serving the child, but we're serving the whole family.
Casillas says she was once a Head Start mom herself and credits the program with inspiring and supporting her higher education journey. She now has her master's degree in child development.
We do parent workshops, we do family fun days, we offer resources to families if they want to get a better job, if they want to go back to school, if they are struggling with food, if they're struggling with clothing.
Christina Rosselli with the district says up until recently, only families who fell below the federal poverty threshold were eligible. But there are many families just above that line who are struggling, and in places like California, spending a lot of their income on housing. So last year, a new federal rule went into effect, allowing Head Start programs across the country to take into account how much families spend on housing when determining eligibility.
So excited that Head Start has opened up enrollment to more families. So Head Start enacted a new policy this year where they can deduct housing costs and some of their utility costs out of the eligibility requirements, so more families will be able to qualify.
Sacramento City Unified School District officials and Head Start California tell ABC 10 they're urging families throughout the state with young children who are above the federal poverty line but still struggling, especially with housing costs, to contact their local Head Start program and see if they are now eligible for this free program.
We're hoping that this can get out. Families can see that these programs maybe now are accessible to them where they weren't before, and we hope to get a lot of calls and enroll and fill up our classrooms as soon as we can and serve more of our families across Sacramento.
I have to say the kiddos are so cute. They put a smile on all of our faces. But I do have a serious question for you. Is there any word in Washington that the Head Start programs could lose funding?
Well, you know, Alex, Head Start California says they are keeping an eye on a bill making its way through the U.S. House of Representatives. It would roll back the new rule from last year that, among other changes, expanded that household eligibility. Well, that bill hasn't moved since November, but if it passes, Head Start California says they are confident that families enrolled before that rule is rolled back would get to remain in the program for at least a year. So, Alex, that's why there is such urgency in getting the word out to families who might, at least for now, be eligible for Head Start and to get them enrolled as soon as possible.
All right, Becca, thank you so much for that update.
Tracking a developing story out of San Joaquin County, dozens of horses are getting the help they need after enduring alleged malnourishment that led to the deaths of 24 other horses.
Tonight, we're learning new details about the major case deputies say they just cracked. ABC 10's Gabriel Porras has the story.
The investigation spans several days across different properties in the Clements area, including this one where trailers have been coming in and out all day.
There have been animal cruelty cases previously, but not as large of a quantity as it has, unfortunately, this time.
In the quiet community of Clements, Deputies say it was neighbors who sounded the alarm.
So we did get calls from the community, so that brought it to our attention, and we were able to do a welfare check, and that's how it was brought to our attention, the severity of the case.
The severe scene behind this fence, and at least 3 others like it, all allegedly belonging to Jan Johnson of Clements.
When Animal Services first made contact with her, she basically made threats, I'll shoot you. Made a search warrant there, we discovered the deceased horses.
The threats were made in August, and the case went quiet until January, when deputies busted an alleged rooster fighting stadium at a property she owns. Then came a search warrant, and on Wednesday, the discovery: 27 dead horses and around 90 needing to be rescued.
There were 4 horses and 1 bull euthanized. By last night, there was 9 horses and 1 donkey that had to be euthanized. Jan Johnson was booked for the following charges: cruelty to an animal, threatening a public official, criminal threats, and possession of a short barrel rifle.
Deputies say autopsies are now being conducted on the dead horses. The ones that survived sent to Oakdale Equine Rescue.
They could use the help, so if anyone would like to donate, they could donate there. They have the facility, but any food, medical, any of that stuff, they would really appreciate it.
In San Joaquin County, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Well, Jan Johnson was released on bail. She is expected to appear in court in downtown Stockton on Friday.
Sacramento County is making strides in opening a one-of-a-kind campus. It'll provide housing for homeless people and help them find permanent housing. It'll be known as the Safe Stay Community Campus at Watt Avenue. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias joins us live from the site now. Roxanne, you've learned a lot today. What makes this project different?
Well, Laura, behind this fence you see right here behind me, a lot will be coming soon. Sacramento County is going to be adding several shelter cabins here, along with a weather respite center. And for the very first time in Sacramento County, they're going to be adding safe parking, which will have security here on the premises.
3, 2, 1.
A groundbreaking ceremony took place at this empty warehouse off Watt Avenue in North Highlands. It will soon be a Safe Stay community campus.
What it really represents, I think, is the county meeting the need, meeting the moment in terms of addressing homelessness, unsheltered homelessness in our community, and doing it in a way that represents kind of the state of the art.
The campus will include 225 beds in Safe Stay cabins, safe parking for about 50 people, and emergency and weather respite beds for 75 people. Once it's constructed, the county's Department of Homeless Services and Housing will be in charge of overseeing the day-to-day operations.
So the really great thing about this site in particular that we don't have at any of other shelters is the sheer size and the ability to really wrap everything people need. So they'll come in here and they'll have all their needs of daily living met. They'll have access to sanitation and to laundry facilities, and they'll get 3 meals a day and pet care.
It will also offer social and healthcare services. And for the first time in Sacramento County, people living in their cars will now have a safe place to park, monitored by security.
We know that a lot of people who are unsheltered actually are living out of their cars, and in a way that you just described. It may be a family that's barely hanging on, but they still need that vital transportation to get their kids to school or get to work.
These families will also receive help with seeking shelter and services. The construction of this campus is expected to cost $42 million and is mostly funded by the American Rescue Plan Act. The county says additional funding will be secured to provide supportive services and maintain the site.
And if you break down the funding, it's actually not that expensive. It's a heck of a lot cheaper than letting someone stay out in the community unsheltered, where they are extremely expensive in terms of the emergency response from fire, our emergency rooms, our law enforcement response.
The county is hoping to open up this location by the end of the year. As we have mentioned, they will be having security here on the premises to protect the people that are staying here, as well as the entire community that surrounds this location. I'm live in North Highlands. Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
Okay, the first step in many to come. Keep us posted on the progress. Roxanne Elias, thank you.
The Department of Justice is warning people to watch out for immigration scams.
They say scammers are trying to take advantage of fear and uncertainty in undocumented immigrant communities following President Donald Trump's threats of mass deportation. ABC 10's Candace Red is live in Sacramento this morning with ways to avoid falling victim to these sorts of scams. Good morning, Candace.
Good morning to the both of you. Well, there are about 11 million undocumented immigrants in the U.S. And, many of them are growing concerned over President Donald Trump's mass deportation plan. And there's also growing concerns when it comes to immigration scams. And that is coming straight from the California Attorney General's office. They are warning about these scams. They can cost a person thousands of dollars, and it can even hurt someone's immigration status or case. Now, there are a lot of dishonest people pretending to be attorneys or immigration consultants. They act like they can help with legal advice, but they cannot. The AG's office says you should only go to a legitimate legal aid organization for free legal help, and you should never hire an immigration consultant. Only licensed attorneys, accredited representatives, and certain organizations can give legal advice or represent a person in immigration court. Now, we spoke with the BBB about ways to avoid these scams, and they told us it's always a good idea to get a second opinion if you're unsure about something, and you should never feel rushed when it comes to handling business.
A lot of scammers are wanting to keep you isolated and trying to get you to act so quickly that you don't have time to talk to somebody else. And they know that there's a lot of shame and embarrassment that comes with being scammed. So they are banking on the fact that you won't talk to somebody else or you won't get a second set of eyes or a second opinion on something.
Now, scammers will also use all sorts of ways to trick people. They'll call, text, email, or go door to door, or even use social media. So remember, never give out money or your personal information. The AG's office says that no federal or state agency will ever ask for payment or confidential information over the phone, email, or text. And then just one more thing to mention here before you sign any sort of immigration form, you want to make sure, of course, that you understand it before signing it and that you also know exactly what it's for. In Sacramento, Candace Red, ABC10.
All right, thank you, Candace.
Now to the extreme weather impacts across the country. A deep freeze is affecting more than 12 million people today. In Houston, several crashes were reported when drivers tried returning to the roads after all that snowfall, finding them still icy, especially on those overpasses and bridges. And in Florida, Pensacola had a record-setting 9 inches of snow. Look at all that. The winter blast killed at least 10 people in 3 states. Several of those deaths were from the bitter cold. Well, here at home, Carly is tracking some potential changes just around the corner.
Some much needed rain in the forecast, huh, Carly?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, but hopefully it can kind of add up to a little bit more coming into February. What we expect to see is those temperatures are going to continue to be cold overnight. We have a couple more days of that, and right now in the Big Mountain backyard, we're looking at temperatures right around the low 60s, upper 50s in Marysville, Tahoe at 39 degrees. Highs today, though, are actually pretty warm, and in California, we got some of the warmest temperatures across the entire country today, as even early this morning, we saw 59 degrees in San Francisco. Meanwhile, most of the country was dealing with the blizzard cold conditions out there. What we saw today, though, is right around the mid-60s for most spots across Northern California, with 54 in Truckee, 51 in South Lake Tahoe. Today, we expect to continue to see some cold temperatures overnight into tomorrow morning, and then strong wind gusts will be making a return for us this weekend, starting up for us on Saturday, with Sierra snowfall as well as potential for valley foothill shower chances. Now, most of this will be just for the foothills. We may get a little bit for our valley spots, but it won't be significant enough to really bring up some of our precipitation for the water year. But hey, it's a start. And we're going to see those cold mornings continue into next week. We're currently tracking the high pressure system in place and a small low down toward Mexico, but it's the high that's really starting to push in those winds for Southern California today. We will be tracking this low pressure system that's expected to begin moving up and over and then coming in as an inside slider by Saturday afternoon, and also pushing in some rain for Southern California. Just take a look at this. The inside slider comes in by Saturday, bringing us some precipitation for the Sierra spots with light snowfall, and then begins to push its way towards Southern California as we start moving from Sunday to Monday. And that's where they could expect to see some rain for their area, Los Angeles, Orange County, and San Diego, where they have a lot of fires still burning there even today as we speak. New ones popping up left and right. This will begin exiting the region by Tuesday. With the high pressure system in place here, we may begin to see another trough beginning to push up and over it. If that high stays in place a little longer, it would dip right back in like another inside slider. At this point in time, time. We only have about a 20% chance to maybe see some rain headed our way the following Thursday, but things can change pretty quickly, so we'll have to wait and see exactly how that turns out for us. We're hoping to get a little bit more rain as we push into February. Futurecast winds here will be pretty strong coming in out of the north on Saturday morning, mostly for the coastal range spots and some areas of the Sierra. We'll see about 15 to 20 mile per hour winds for our valley. And then by Saturday afternoon, we start to get a shift in the winds. Not only are they just coming in from the north, we're now starting to see that low circulate, and winds will be coming in out of the south through areas of our foothill spots, finally exiting as we start moving into Sunday morning. So we do have a wind advisory in place for that on Saturday. Into our foothills, temperatures right around those mid to low 60s with overnight lows near freezing point tonight. And over the next 3 days, we'll continue to see some upper 50s. I've just put a little drizzle there for your Saturday, just so you can remember, hey, if you catch something on your windshield, you see it out there, there's a little drizzle I reminded you about. Otherwise, you'll see mostly cloudy skies.
So what you're saying is no washout conditions this weekend.
Definitely not. Just a chance of rain.
Okay, that's a relief. Yeah. Carly, thank you.
It's a reminder of California's criminal justice past and a symbol of the change in capital punishment.
Well, it's California's last remaining original gallows. John Bartel here, making a little pit stop in Downeyville.
Sierra County is one of California's least populated counties at just over 3,000 people. But in Downeyville, the county seat, tourists from all over come to see and experience the beauty, the small town feel, the endless outdoor activities, and of course, this.
This is kind of a morbid roadside attraction you guys have here.
Absolutely.
This is the Sierra County Sheriff's Gallows, a National Historic Site and a reminder of the county's last legal hanging.
So John, as we walk up, you will notice there are 13 steps coming up.
13 steps?
There seems to be a lot of, superstition or tradition to this kind of thing.
Local historian and former Sierra County Sheriff Lee Adams never witnessed the gallows in action, but he does know its history.
We are on an authentic gallows that was used once in 1885 for the hanging of a gentleman by the name of James O'Neill, 20 years old.
According to court records, James O'Neill got in a fight with his boss, John Woodward, after O'Neill borrowed and overworked his boss's pregnant horse.
Was fired, either a struggle or a cold-blooded murder, and the result either way was that Mr. Woodward was killed.
Lee Adams says James O'Neill's death sentence was confirmed in both the judicial and Supreme Court, and he was hanged just 15 months after the murder.
The file in this case is maybe half an inch of paper. Capital case today is probably a small moving truck of files. So due process has changed in 100-something years.
That was the last time the Sierra County gallows was ever used. Just a few years after James O'Neill was hanged, the state took over capital punishment. The gallows were put into storage above the courthouse for many years, until it was later reassembled as a historic piece.
Interestingly enough, that was around 1932, 1947, that courthouse burned to the ground. So if this had not come out, it would have been burned up in the courthouse.
At one time, nearly every county in California had its own gallows, but this one is the only authentic gallows still on display.
Why save this thing? Why even keep it out here?
That's a good question. To me, it's not a statement on pro or con death penalty, but I would argue that it's representative of California's criminal justice past.
California's last hanging was at San Quentin in 1942. From then on, capital punishment in California would go through a series of changes and legal battles. But in Sierra County, the gallows symbolizes the beginning of those changes, for better or worse.
From California's last remaining gallows, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Happening now as we speak, nominations coming down for the 97th Academy Awards.
So let's go ahead and get straight to ABC 10's Marcus Allen to find out who could be getting an Oscar this year. Hey, Mark.
Yeah, head exploding about a couple of things. Selena Gomez robbed, but Demi Moore, big nomination. So we'll talk about that. In the meantime, let's talk about those best pictures, of which there are a lot to get through. So it looks like this. Nora, a movie that I walked in here to the studio and said, everybody's got to see this movie. It is amazing, nominated. The Brutalist, super compelling movie. The Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, another movie I said would be nominated. Indeed it was. Nickel Boys, The Substance, a movie you won't be able to unsee. And of course, we all saw this coming down the pipe. Congratulations, Wicked. Best Actor, Adrian Brody, The Brutalist. Timothy Chalamet, way to go, A Complete Unknown. Amazing Bob Dylan take. Coleman Domingo, a little bit of a surprise. Sing Sing, congratulations. Ray Fiennes, Conclave. Sebastian Stan, all right. Comes along out of nowhere. That was a big surprise, but well-deserved for The Apprentice. Best Actress, Cynthia Erivo. We all knew this was coming for Wicked. Carla Sofia Gaston, Amelia Perez. Mickey Madison, Nora, well-deserved. Demi Moore, big surprise, The Substance. Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here. Congratulations on that. All right, so let's talk about some of these movies that you may or may not have seen. The moment I saw it, I said, despite anything you may think, you are going to love this movie, Amelia Perez, a musical drama about a transgender former drug lord turned atheist, blending themes of identity and redemption. And it's a musical, and it's subtitled, and you're going to love it. 13 nods, including right there, Zoe Saldana. The Brutalist, chronicling the life of a Hungarian architect in post-war America. It talks about ambition and the true immigrant experience. 10 nominations for that. Conclave, it is gripping. It's a little bit long, but it's phenomenal, centered on the political intrigue of a papal election, highlighting themes of power and faith. 8 nominations there. And here it comes, Wicked, a cinematic adaptation, as you know, of the acclaimed musical. It explores the untold story of the Witches of Oz, a focus on friendship and prejudice. It tied Brutalist, by the way, with 10, including, way to go, bring it home right there, Ariana Grande, now a nominee. All right, I'm out of breath. We've covered a lot of these Oscar-nominated movies on Take a Look. In fact, most of the nominated stars you saw, I sat down with to say in advance, congratulations on what just went down. You can check it out right now on the ABC 10 Plus streaming app. On the homepage, you'll also find our episode on Amelia Perez. We also have a full episode dedicated to Wicked and so much more. Be sure and get that ABC 10 Plus streaming app. It is free to download everywhere.
Everywhere.
Take a look, Walt.
Yeah, and just so I can plan my morning tomorrow, Friday, my TV, what time can I find Take a Look, sir?
Take a Look is on at 9:30.
On this very station?
On this very station.
ABC 10.
By the way, if we're plugging, if you love Academy Awards, you probably love monster trucks, and that's what I'm doing tomorrow.
Wow.
Thank you so much for watching ABC 10 Plus tonight. We're here 24/7 on the free ABC 10 Plus app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Laura Painter. Take care and see you next time.
Trust isn't given, but earned. It's built every day by doing the hard work, putting in the hours, doing the research, holding the powerful accountable, and being there when you need us most. Working hard to earn your trust every day, every newscast, every story. Watch weeknights at 6 or stream live on ABC 10 Plus.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To the Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To the Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention Bay Sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To the Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.
Watch Marcus Allen's new entertainment show, Take a Look. Stream anytime on ABC10 Plus. Trust isn't given, but earned. It's built every day by doing the hard work, putting in the hours, doing the research, holding the powerful accountable, and being there when you need us most. Working hard to earn your trust every day. Every newscast, every story. Watch weeknights at 6 or stream live on ABC10 Plus.